YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host TKK and we are back with another video, guys. We are back. Hopefully you guys are doing good. As I said in my most recent upload, when I was showing you guys these boxes, I spoke to you and told you that the next bit of content would be around this space. So with the S95C, realistically, nobody has the TV yet. Nobody that's anybody who's really putting content out. And I am not the biggest fan of making a ton of videos speculating things. Since I've already made the investment for the television, we know that the television's coming. I figured giving you guys more behind the scenes content would be appreciated. So we're going to be doing this royal blue paint. It's not royal blue, but it's of royalty color. I love it. Looks good. Shout outs to Keeping Up with the Jones. You had suggested a purple base paint. There were some other great suggestions made from my community tab also. One was an orange. It was a burnt orange, and I loved the way that paint looked when I researched it. It just so happened that I decided to go with something that would contrast a little bit more with the aesthetic of these speakers. So these are Klipsch speakers, and I just want to talk about these a little bit as I just crack them open. So this company makes some great products. This is not my first time using them. Back in 2014, I had a dedicated theater room, and I had literally 4 of these towers. These are the R800F. It was obviously the generation or the iteration that existed at that time. So they've rebranded these. These are more efficient. They sound better, etc. But yes, I had 2 subwoofers. These subwoofers are the R12. So it's their 12-inch subwoofers. These are reference lines. So not the reference premium, not the highest end stuff that they have. This is what I can afford. I had money saved for this. And so I think this was a good investment for me. What I've been using is Sony Core Audio, which hasn't been bad at all. It's just that I was looking for something more immersive and I wanted an upgrade. Now, buying after a brand isn't how you buy audio. You kind of have to have a little bit of experience with what kind of sound you're looking for. Me, I know that I'm in a living room and it's got a pretty open concept. So the system that I'm starting with is pretty much a 5.2, which is everything you're seeing here. 2 subwoofers, 2 towers for the front, left, and right, a center, and then a pair of bookshelves that are going to go in the rears. And from there, I can build on. Now, the receiver that I have right now is pretty entry level. It's been featured on the channel before, but there's room for me to grow if I feel like I need to. I may not need to, you know, that's the biggest thing for me. I may not need to. So currently the system that I have, the Sony Core, has 2 subwoofers, similarly to what I have now. They're 10-inch, these are 12-inch. So right there, we're gonna push a lot more air. And I have 2 bookshelves that are in the rear, which is where these Klipsch bookshelves are gonna go. I've got 2 towers in the front, which is where these are going to go. Again, the drivers are larger, and also the center is going to be wider with more volume, more power. And so should be an upgrade all the way around when you guys finally see this. I've heard this stuff before. I've heard the Sony's like, it's okay, but I want more. So I'm going to get all of these out the box. I'd like to bring you a look at these speakers. These are going to be the bookshelves in the center. They are attractive in my opinion. I'll give you a better overview look, but I wanted to just show you. So they've got like I'll call it a burnt orange look to them. The speaker grill easily removable. It's going to be all black mesh, and you have that in the Klipsch wording. Speakers are all black. They do come in an ebony or a walnut, excuse me. They come in a walnut finish also. Let me just get this one off. This is the center. So they've redesigned these again. I owned a pair of these, a setup like this years ago, talking 8-9 years ago. When you go to the rear of this speaker, they do have this piece of material here that's kind of centered in. Looks like plywood, but it's more of a rubber texture that's centered really nice. Probably going to be there to help prevent you scuffing your furniture. Elevates it very evenly also. We'll go to the bottom of this one, and you see it's on both sides. This is a very attractive speaker in my opinion. I love the way this looks. Appears you've got 2 ports on this center. This is pretty wide. I'll have to get some measurements of that just in case anyone might have a question. These aren't new, and this isn't necessarily a home theater audio channel, but you know, bringing you guys a piece of what is about to be a part of my setup is what I wanted to do. And let's just tie in that paint sample I've got. Unfortunately, paint never looks exactly like its sample, but there's that. See if that comes up on a viewfinder. Yes, I want to have a purple feature wall, and a part of the aesthetic of these speakers, I like the way gold and purple kind of ties in. Let's take a look at the subwoofers. First, I want to say that these grills are magnetic. So if you feel like you don't want to see the orange, or maybe if you have possibly a pest control issue, I'm not sure, or yeah, because I can't think of any other reasons you want to cover that other than just you wanting the aesthetics. This is a magnet that just goes on very easily. Same on this side. And the very same on this side too. So very awesome there. And taking a look at the back of these speakers, you're going to see the model number. So R50M, you've got R30C, the R for reference, and then you've got your positive negative connection. Just screws and unscrew. So you've got 2 ways you can do this. Obviously you can latch your wiring in and just tighten that back like so. Or, and that's what I love about these speakers that my Sony Core speakers couldn't do, you can get yourself a traditional banana plug and get a more secure connection. Now, I'm saying more secure, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're more on the, you know, enthusiast or purist side of this, but with that, you can do your positive, negative with the banana plug and just literally plug them in as if it was an RCA jack. That's gonna follow for the bookshelf speakers and the towers also. All right, and here we are with the subwoofers. I have 2 of them, as I just showed you in the beginning of the video. And so they don't have the rubberized material on the bottom of them. They actually have the actual posts. So there's 4 posts, I'll call them that, you know, align on the bottom of them to elevate them so that they're not sitting on the ground. I'd imagine this is good for carpet too. They say that they are rear firing, but they are completely sealed from the bottom. Hopefully you get a good look there. You have your connections on the back for volume. I'm sorry, for gain and low pass. So what's included with these is going to be a non-polarized cable. There's no RCA connections included with this particular subwoofer. Also, this is not magnetic like every other speaker I've showed you prior. These actually pull out, and I don't want to break them because it's just a small piece of plastic. That design I wish was done a little bit differently. You've got this piece of plastic here. I'm sure that there could be some type of remedy to repair that if necessary, but this is all mesh. And we've got that that woofer there. It's like some glue. I don't know, but yeah, so very nice, attractive subwoofer there. Port is on the rear, as you can see on this one that I've got turned around. These are exactly the same, so two 12-inch subwoofers. I've had a configuration like this before, and it sounds good to me. The best thing about having the two subwoofers is that it puts you in a position where it just sounds like you have more consistency. There's more balance. It's just like having two speakers in the front, the left and the right. You know, your ears just listening to that. And I've seen some receivers that go as far as to having 4 pre-outs for subwoofers. I know that you can do some RCA Y couplers to get 4. You can do port 1, port 2, and that works because I had 4 of these before, and it worked. But yeah, this is going to be really cool. Again, it's not a real huge space, and we're in the kitchen right here as I'm recording it, obviously behind the room. So the sound is going to escape to some degree, but this should really offer me leading to my sweet spot seat, which is about 15 feet from where the TV will be on the wall. The TV actually going on the wall is going to move it back a little bit more, maybe another foot from where the TV is currently standing on the stand. But I think that this soundstage is going to be pretty remarkable. At this point, if you're watching this, listening, just go ahead and leave some comment if you have an idea how these things should be staged. If you have an opinion, obviously I'll make the executive call for myself, but definitely love to hear from any purist, from any enthusiast around this piece. Let's take a look at these towers. Okay, so the towers are the last pieces I need to get out of the boxes. The towers do have a small bit of installation that's required. You open these things up. They are packaged really well too. I just want to say that they've got the corner cardboards, protectors there to keep this thing from banging around. And you've got styrofoam, what looks to be the top and the bottom. But the towers are going to have I guess we can call it the feet. There's 2 pieces that will need to be screwed on. So you will need a Phillips screwdriver or some kind of drill. And so they come with that and the Phillips screws also. So there's 4 screws there. I don't have my viewfinder flipped around. Forgive me. Hopefully you can see this. So that's going to be something you'd have to prepare yourself for. Now, whether or not they could transport these safely, I'm not sure. But if you're looking at this and you're interested at all in investing in these, one thing I will tell you from my own personal experience as being a consumer is that you definitely can build your home theater. I personally feel as if, just doing the center, the 2 front towers and a subwoofer is a great system, because when you kind of think about it, almost anything that you can do that's better than the TV is going to be better than the TV. Now, this TV that is going to be going onto the wall is going to have better speakers pretty much than almost anything else that has been out, but it's still not the do all be all. If you can do a sound bar, that's cool. But again, if you just target the front speakers first to get that separation at 3.1 going, which the 3.1 is the center, left, right, 0.1 being the subwoofer, you're going to have a really good experience. You're not really hearing anything from the rears until it's actually there. However, I do a lot of gaming. I sit in my sweet spot. Those rears are there. So I like to be put right smack dead into the middle of all of that content. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and get these things out and installed. So we got this connected. These can only go on one way. I'm really disappointed though, man. So these 2 components actually give the speaker some height. There's a little bit of rubber on there because it's on carpet, but these sets were perfect. They just went flat, flush. It's all it is like plastic, right? But on these, you've got 2 pre-cuts for screws, but then kind of in the middle, this one had like 2 pieces of plastic. And so, I was struggling with not understanding why these were not going on flush, whereas these are absolutely flush. And so this screw actually ended up breaking over here. I don't know, because maybe it was just too much back and forth tension. So I have the screw. The screw is in there with the head being broken, but again, they're on there, so it's fine. That's just, I don't know. That was a quality control situation, in my opinion. I'm gonna go ahead and flip these things around so you can take a look at them though. We've got one up, one down. Beautiful speakers, man. This is with the grill off. So again, that burnt orange, goldish looking color. It really doesn't look like gold, honestly. Burnt orange is the best representation I can offer. This is unique, and I'm not sure exactly what this means. Make sure you guys can see this. So we've got main. Obviously, I know the speaker goes there. This is for height. So my assumptions at this point is that this, what looks to be a tweeter, if this is actually like its own dedicated channel, I'm not sure. But we're going to test this out. It's quite possible that I can actually get 7.2 out of this. Now, obviously, this would be some sort of simulation in sound, I'm thinking. But, you know, given the height of these things with where I'd be sitting, which my sweet spot, again, is right over there. You know, these are at ear level. So that might give me a little something just to go. I can't go too crazy in this room because there's just only so much that I can do in here. There's a ton of openings. And so right now, this is just, again, to give me better audio. You got the Dolby Atmos little tag right there. Not really sure what that's supposed to be indication of. I don't know. This might be if I'm running speakers up. I have no idea exactly how this is to be utilized. For all I know, the height could be for me running the wire up, and this would be for me tying it in to go to a higher speaker, or if I had something sitting there. I don't know, guys. Because I know the speakers that they sell that I was talking about putting on the wall. I've seen images of them, Klipsch, advertising them just sitting here. So this this cable management piece right here could be for that. I don't know. We'll figure it out though. All right, guys, this is going to conclude this video here with this last transition. This is an overview look at the Klipsch speakers. This is a part of the project. So video prior yesterday, you know, opened up with me talking about this stuff. We hadn't unboxed it, and you know, I got some work to do. The overall plan is to get this wall painted, so I've got to get to work on that, and these are a part of it. So we're getting out with the old Sonys and in with these new Klipsch. You know, I believe that this will offer me a greater sound. And these Sonys have these Atmos speakers on them, which I guess if I wanted, I very well much could use those, but I would definitely not do that. I'm happy to see how this all turns out. So the content all this week is really going to be about this area and getting it set up, because like I said, I've got to get the painting done. I've got to get a wall mount on the wall. I've got to, you know, re-cable manage. I got to get some banana plugs so that I can get these speakers all in place. But this is a very exciting thing. This is a big upgrade, major upgrade. I don't upgrade audio often at all. I actually bought these Sony speakers back in 2020, I want to say. I think it's when I got the CX OLED is when I bought these, because I had the Sony receiver that I featured on the channel. It went out and I had a warranty on it. And so that's how I ended up getting the Denon 970 that I have down there. We'll take a deeper look into that and we'll get you some sound testing. I've already had a person that left a comment on my video asking me about the center and how it sounded. This video isn't to encompass that. I've got to play around with some content and see what I can play and still, you know, be able to do my thing on YouTube with. I don't want to just put any random stuff up there that's going to prohibit my growth here, right? Hopefully that's understood, but I'm going to catch you guys on the next video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this unboxing and this deep dive into me explaining the whys on this system, let me know. I appreciate any support that you guys might want to leave on the channel and any of the options below, be it thanks, be it subscribing, be it sharing, you know, But ultimately, I'd like to just get some engagement because this is just all about TKK. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace. God bless. And as I always say, max love.